this sweatshirt. Oh. Hey guys, listen. I don't want to alarm you, but CNN has the breaking news bug on their lower thirds on right now. I gotta pack a bag and get the hell out of here because there's some crazy stuff going down. Come on, let's go. Do you want to come? No? All right. I'm sorry you're a goner anyway. Oh boy, I gotta finish packing this bag. I don't want to be here when the S hits the F. I'm gonna prove to you that I'm right. See? Breaking news. Breaking news. Why would CNN ever lie to you? Come on. I gotta get things. I gotta get my phone, my laptop, food. It tastes bad. I gotta get out of here. Oh no, that way's blocked. Okay, where am I gonna go? Who am I gonna... any candy? Candy right here? Oh God, why would they lie to us? Why would CNN lie to us?
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
You can see I'm wearing shorts. I don't care. Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White. And this is the CNN Cable News Network. News that you didn't know about. Okay, so we're going to try something different. This is the first live episode because cable news is live. They're 24 hours a day, buddy. And some of their shows are live. Majority of their shows are live. So I thought it'd be really fun to sit down, do an episode that doesn't require editing, that doesn't require any preparation, and just talk. Because CNN Plus launched, and there are some things that need to be said about it. So if you heard, CNN Plus is live. It's not doing too hot, but it sure does exist. Now, the ramp up to CNN Plus has actually been close to a year in the making. There's been rumblings and machinations, and even after the merger of Discovery and Warner, there was an unsure nature behind the reasoning behind launching another subscription platform in the Discovery and Warner family. So here we have it. We've got CNN Plus alive and well. I want to tell you this, planning on doing this episode in front of the television, because most streaming apps have TV apps. Not CNN Plus. CNN Plus does not have an Android TV app. In fact, I dare to say that CNN doesn't even have an app for Android TV because I downloaded CNN Go, which is the way you can watch CNN if you, for some reason, have a cable login and you want to log in via Android TV, and I couldn't even open the app. It wouldn't even let me pop the app open after a fresh install. So, needless to say, that joint is getting uninstalled. Speaking of joints, they have a lot of themed stuff for April 20th, the 420 holiday. And right now, CNN Plus is more or less a landing page for CNN shows. There's the stuff that is pretty much available on HBO Max, as well as like Hulu and maybe some other disparate places. But then there's also new shows. But you'd be hard-pressed to find new shows because I couldn't find anything. Now, I see something for Chris Wallace's new show, a clip from it or something. But I got to tell you, everything I see here is a CNN original, which is insane. Like the Anthony Bourdain's Parts Unknown series, that is a show that I think still lives on HBO Max for smart reasons, but they labeled it a CNN original on the key art here, and if you scroll down, it's still just as hard to find the shows that are made for CNN Plus. We've got Anderson Cooper Full Circle, which is a show I thought was on CNN Plus. No, it's just a CNN show. There's other shows here like Jake Tapper's Book Club. These have existed for well before the CNN Plus launch. And then I came down here to a section deemed the climate crisis and beyond, and I'm looking at the Wonder List with Bill Weir. They have it labeled as a CNN Plus original series. I literally, within the first seconds of the first episode, it says in a little tag, originally aired in 2015. They're taking shows and docs and everything that have already aired and labeling them as original series. That's like Netflix acquiring a show from that's been on in Europe for 5-10 years and labeling it an original show. Like obviously, yeah, you can purchase that, but it still existed well before your product was even as popular as it is now. And just at a cursory glance, which I tell you, I have to take because CNN Plus does not offer free trials beyond 7 days, nor is it bundled into the HBO Max service, which we'll get into later. This thing is not worth your time. It's not worth anyone's time. I don't know if they have an Apple TV app. The only other app that I've tried is the CNN app on the iPad, and you have to go into the CNN app. Then you have to click on CNN Plus, and that's the way you watch shows and stuff. Oh, it's just frustrating. At least they have a TV provider login, so if you have a cable subscription or a YouTube TV or a Hulu with live TV or streaming cable subscription, I guess, and it's called streaming cable, who cares? Then you can watch live CNN shows, but in that case, why don't you go to tv.youtube.com or hulu.com in order to watch your live shows? I mean, it's insane. Now, they were given a year to do this, and quite frankly, in a year, I wouldn't be able to do this, but it's the only thing that really stands out are the watch list, which I guess makes sense. And then the interview club, which is something that I have not seen on anything besides New York Times or Wall Street Journal subscriptions, where you get to ask questions of your favorite CNN personality. So today at 1:00 they have a history of women covering the White House with the wonderful Caitlin Collins and the OK Wolf Blitzer. And then they have a bunch of other interview things. I don't know how it plays out, and it seems that people ask the easiest questions they could possibly ask because they're not people who interview. So CNN Plus has only had about, according to CNBC, fewer than 10,000 daily users. Now, I think it's, according to Axios over here, Sarah Fisher, she says that it has about 150,000 subscribers so far. So 10,000 daily users, less than 10,000 users with 150 subscribers so far, 150,001 because of myself so far. They have this idea of Discovery and Warner of essentially going to turn HBO Max into the place for all of this, but CNN Plus is really giving off a Quibi style lifespan, and at least Quibi, had an intent, had a purpose. This oddly does not. So they're having trouble getting new viewers and new people into it, and unfortunately, I think that they, when leadership said, "Hey, let's do a streaming version of CNN." News product, they want it to be a lot like the Fox Nation app, which is what I think is widely popular, and mostly because they have a rabid fan base full of racists and morons. Now, CNN's cable offering has an average of 773,000 viewers per day, and there's just no way that they're going to be able to catch up to what. Even like things like ESPN Plus, there's no way that they're going to be able to catch up to something like that. Let's see. So it's not doing too hot. Anybody can see that. This is according to The Verge. It's getting again the 10,000 viewers. It's a $6 per month subscription or $60 per year, and then also if you already subscribe to HBO Max, then you get. I think it's $3 off per month for life, as long as you subscribe to CNN Plus, which I don't know who jumped at that chance. I will admit, when it launched, the day it launched, I went to the iPad and I said, let me see if there's a separate app. And then that was an issue. There was no separate app. There's apparently budget cuts on the way, and we can only go so far as to say that might be true. Um, Maybe the live shows can live on because they did launch live shows with this new platform, and it's got a lot of good personalities who are smart, people who left their jobs from other companies. Cassie Hunt left NBC News, and Chris Wallace left Fox News, both to launch these new programs. Audie Cornish struck a deal with Eva Longoria for a documentary series. Anderson Cooper, Don Lemon, Poppy Harlow, and Brian Stetler have new shows as well. There's going to be new versions of shows, and everybody was excited to see this happen. But just quite frankly, CNN Plus is a dud, and there's no way around it. And we know that HBO Max and Discovery Plus at some point within the next year are going to merge into one service, and quite frankly, it's going to be Discovery Plus going over to HBO Max. All that stuff is going to land on HBO Max. CNN Plus at this point is going to fold right into HBO Max perfectly, and it's outstanding. They wanted to fight Fox Nation, but what they should have done was turn into the skid of HBO Max, use that name HBO, and this new platform HBO Max, and the new app that they just launched. They just re-released HBO Max with all these brand new apps for every single device: Apple TV, Android, iPads, computer, and now it's not built on the HBO Go platform, and now they have a better player, a better way to manage everything. Most of the bugs are gone. I won't say all of them. CNN Plus, when it folds into HBO Max, and that will happen, and I guarantee you that will happen within 365 days. People are going to go, why wasn't this here in the first place? And again, they should not have tried to fight. They shouldn't have tried to make a bundle. It's Netflix is going to have to release an ad tier supported version, but if you can be something with, if I'd rather have a bloated app as opposed to 4 different apps, and that's no knock on Disney Plus and Hulu, and also Hulu uses ESPN Plus because ESPN Plus stuff is on Hulu, but those offer a substantial 2 different things. Disney's, I go there for family stuff and mostly The Simpsons. I go there for mostly The Simpsons. And then Hulu has everything else. With HBO Max, when I hear the HBO name, I think of the premium offerings that they have, but then the CNN stuff was already on there. So I'm already thinking of Lisa Ling's show. I'm already thinking of Anthony Bourdain's show. And now, of course, obviously, I would have to be thinking of Property Brothers and Guy Fieri, which I watch all of their products, all of their shows. So yeah, when those become one thing, one big service, that's what it's going to be. And before I end this, I think this is the same issue. CNN Plus, to some extent, ESPN Plus. And Peacock, which is the thing I brought this up. When Peacock launched, it should have been a channel on Hulu, a channel on Amazon, a channel on Apple TV, as opposed to its own app offering. It doesn't. It's right now I think it is probably the worst app out there because it's slow to load and it's difficult to find things, and try watching their live product on there is just tough. But MSNBC stuff is going to appear on the Peacock Live stuff, and there's tiers to it. It should have been launched as a channel though, even with all that said. So coming into CNN Plus, it should have been just a separate section on HBO Max. And in fact, I think it is a separate section on HBO Max. Like it doesn't make sense as to why it's not. So if I load up HBO Max and I go down to the hubs, there's HBO Max Originals, DC, Turner Classic Movies, Adult Swim, Studio Ghibli, Cartoon Network, Sesame Workshop, Looney Tunes, Cartoonito, and I don't understand why there's not an HBO Max. I mean, excuse me, a CNN Plus section under HBO Max. It doesn't make sense to me, and that's what it should have been. And now they're in HBO Max again. Live streaming is going. They're going to get into live sports. They are eventually going to stream hockey games and baseball games and soccer games. So this should have been the soft launch of the live streaming product on HBO Max. That would have CNN Plus would have helped that in the long run, in the short run and the long run. When people see, oh, this Netflix-like service also has live streaming, that is what it should have been, as opposed to we're going to have two separate products. Hopefully, the second product can stay afloat because it has the CNN branding, the branding that people know. But you know, they just don't have the same fan base as the competitors. So that's it. And just like that, as soon as I shoot that episode of News Time, I get breaking news coming out of the Hollywood Reporter 2 minutes ago saying that CNN Plus is in fact shutting down a month after launch. This is not unexpected, even though it took a little bit longer. I think that they were going to try to keep it up as long as possible, but Discovery or Warner Bros. Discovery is just saying, hey, this is not a part of the plan. So April 30th, it is shutting down in 9 days. April 30th, that's when it is closing down. This is a smart move. Shout out to Chris Licht over there coming out from CBS. And that's the only update I have for you. That's a great live episode of News Time. Listen, if you like what you saw here, for some reason, head on over to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where we've got news reviews. No, wait, news reviews, interviews. I haven't done that in a long time. I've got interviews with your favorite comedians and other videos and stuff. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Listen to the Constitutionals podcast, which is basically this, wherever you get your podcast. And you know what? I have got to unsubscribe from CNN Plus, and here I go. It's done.